And we're live here from Dover International Speedway, where tonight the stars of the In the Pits News Truck Series take on this treacherous track known as Dover. Will Miles the Monster rip apart someone's playoff hopes and dreams? And who will stand tall and conquer the beast in tonight's race? The Amsoil Dover Dash. And I'd say at Dover again, but it feels like I've been really redundant in saying Dover. Dawson Allen is always up here in the booth, except for last week when I wasn't in the booth. Joining me tonight, as always, a great pleasure to have him here. It is the one and the only Mr. Ben Smith. Ben, we've got an exciting race about ready to play out here tonight. It's such a tricky track for these drivers to navigate. How is it going to be out there for these playoff drivers trying to navigate not only the traffic in the field, but also the fight amongst themselves?
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough track. Dover's a fast mile track, so I call it the Monster Mile. But the big things that are going to be keys today. How's your truck handle? Balancing the tire wear, because this track loves to eat up tires. And then also getting on and off pit road. This arguably has one of the toughest pit entries in NASCAR. And we've seen guys in iRacing as well as in real life spin the car out trying to come into the pits, because you got to wind down that speed real quickly to get to that commit line.
Yeah, and it's going to be something to keep an eye on as well. It's one of the many things we're going to have to keep our eye on here in tonight's race. But, of course, the big thing is going to be our playoff drivers and how they're able to handle this race. As we see now, we cut to the grid. There is Justin Durand rolling off of pit road right here, getting ready to get some more practice in. He is currently second fastest on the speed charts. Coming into tonight's race, he is second in points. As things stand, 15 points above that cut line for this championship 4. He is looking to see if he can punch his ticket into this round of 4 at Fontana, as this windy road is coming to a close here for these guys in this hunt for the championship.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. Excuse me, in the point standings. The big guy I'm looking at right now, who I got who I got targeted for today, is Mikey Kruger, who was won here previously back in Season 2. And he's looking pretty good in the standings right now. So if there's one guy who I think is sitting in the capper seat right now, it's Kruger.
Yeah, he has got a good chance here. He's a Season 2 winner at this racetrack. Last year wasn't able to really pull anything off, but the big thing is, too, he's coming into this race just 9 points above this cutoff line, looking to see if he can keep ahead of it at the exit of tonight's race at the drop of the checkered flag. It's going to be interesting to see, just keep following along these storylines, all these drivers. You know, we mentioned Justin Durand. He had a very good run last year at Dover, last season. And he is looking to see if he can try to replicate that this season. Michael Kruger, of course, a Season 2 winner, looking to see if he can get his second win. Because, of course, not to mention, he won the Season 2 season opener, and he won this season opener. Why not go back to, why not do that with Dover as well, Season 2 and Season 4? We'll see how that works. For those two guys to watch, how about the third fastest on the track right now, the one and the only Mr. Brian Haynes?
Yeah, he's looking real good. He's not that far off Kruger and Durand either. He's only 3/100ths of a second off the lead. If you actually, I come to think of it, if you look through the top 8 right now, they're all less than a 10th off each other in time right now. So I think that's going to show us that it's going to be very tight competition for today. Not only get the pole, but also running out there for lap times. It's going to be hard to get. It's going to take a while before we see who's going to get the separation from the pack and who's going to take care of their equipment the best. And for Haynes, this is gonna be a golden opportunity for him. He could play some spoiler here tonight.
And he's absolutely looking to do that. Now we're gonna quickly just flash up on the screen a little graphic just for him. It's our special presentation in honor of him being a longtime partner here of JCTV. This is a little bit of a snippet of an announcement here for Mardon PC, Mardon Technologies. So just a quick flash on the screen here for you, and you'll see just that brand new feel that we've got for Mardon Technologies. It wasn't fit to screen. Disregard that. But yeah, Mardon Technologies with a new launch just recently for a Michael Conti spec PC available on mardontech.com. So if you're looking for a new sim racing PC, definitely head out to mardontech.com and see if you can't get that baby hooked up and get you some iRacing going here with the specs of the pros. We want to thank Brian Haynes again for always being a supporter here on JCTV. Right now, though, he is third fastest. Really good setup now right here. He is one of the few drivers that's kind of intermittent between the playoff drivers in the speed charts right now.
Yeah, we got. As I was saying before, we have a lot of drivers in close proximity here. Haynes there in third. Brett Bennett, who really needs a good run, is fourth right now, and he's only 4/100ths of a second off of Kruger's time.
Yeah, fourth place right now. He is the one that comes in with the deepest hole. He has currently scored 26 points back from the cut line. He is going to have to get the shovel out and start digging if he wants a chance to go on to this championship 4. As we see, some more drivers getting some extra practice in. There is 13th place fastest right now. That is Josh Arnold. Right now, he is currently sitting as the leader in the best of the rest category. He has got still a pretty comfortable gap over what is now 12th place Andrew Elias as it stands right now. It looks like 128 points is the gap, and with Andrew Elias not yet showing up, if he doesn't show up at all, but locks it up for Arnold to take this title. With Arnold with Elias not coming back, I think he's the only one that's close enough really to make a challenge. Back 128 points, so it's definitely going to be a factor. To see if he doesn't show up, that'll automatically lock it up for Josh Arnold to win this best of the rest challenge. 11th in points, just missed the playoffs to Brett Bennett as this season has gone on there at Talladega. Came up just short, but still going to have a good chance to win that best of the rest with that 128-point gap.
Yeah, even if Elias does show up, that's a pretty tough gap to make up in order to get back in contention for best of the rest, especially with the field being as small as it is. Elias would need some additional help besides finishing better than Arnold. He would probably need Arnold to have some misfortune befall him.
And that misfortune would... I was say, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was going to say that misfortune would have to be just not even showing up or not being able to race.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's pretty much how that is at this point.
So he would have to owe somebody a lot of money and then to come up and break his ankles for him. That's basically the kind of trouble he would have to run into.
Oh yeah. So
looks like we got a late entry here. An 18th driver has joined the field.
Yep, Harold Tucker just joining in the session. He is ready to get going. Looking to see throughout the field some other drivers that are popping in here that are racing, non-playoff drivers, but drivers that are here to race. You see there, Jamie Wright is in the field. Matthew Stott's showing up. Stotty Too Hottie is here. Tyler Watermole, and I don't know who let him in, but he's here. Matt Steiner there. Josh Coppernell, as always. Brandon Havens is here. Harold Tucker we mentioned. But how about Corey Cook coming back tonight? It's good to see some drivers coming back after a while. It's been a while since we've seen the 61 truck on track. But of course, he'll have to serve a pass-through penalty at the start of this race. So he'll have to have a not start at the back, excuse me, not a pass through, EOL only. I thought it was pass through still standing, but no, just an EOL. But he'll have to fight his way to the back of the field. Looking forward to seeing what Corey Cook can do in tonight's race.
You mentioned earlier, Dawson, Tyler Waldemolin in the field. In his last 2 starts here, both times he went head on into the barrels entering pit road. So let's see if he can break that streak today.
Yeah, Tyler Waldemolin is he's here. He's here. Yeah, there he is. That's his escape machine. He said he updated the graphics on his truck, and you see him blinking like crazy. Not shocked there either. But he's supposed to have updated his paint scheme to really, to match the new Pepsi graphics. But I see it did not pop up here on Trading Paints, so it is what it is. But how about this? We've talked all night about the guys that need a good race, the guys that need to have a good run, and they're going to have to work on making a good run to the finish of this race and, be there at the end of it. How about this guy right here in 5th place? Ethan Fonseca Moreno, he's 5th fastest right now, but you know what? He doesn't care. He's got 2 weeks to just kind of have some fun and take it easy because he has locked himself into the round of 4. He has got a ticket to Fontana ready for him after that win last week at Kentucky. This 43 team has just gotten cruise control now for the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. And they can roll the dice on strategy with these races and experiment because it's already in the bag. And I'm sure Ethan Fonseca Moreno is not just going to back off the gas just because he's locked in. He's going to want to try and get a couple more wins and kind of put the squeeze on other guys like Kruger, Duran, and Bennett, among others, and just make it that much harder for them to try and lock in.
Yeah, he is not going to roll over. I know that for a fact. I'm not saying he's going to roll over.
No, he definitely
but not. He is the one that coming into tonight's race that has the least amount of stress or any worries or anything because it doesn't matter what happens tonight. He can go out there and win this race or he can go out there and he can wreck trying. At the end of the day, he is still going on to Fontana, so he doesn't have to worry too much. That truck can end up on the hauler getting towed back and he'll be okay. So
we've seen him and we've seen him and Justin Duran have some run-ins during the course of this season where they've battled really hard with some fenders rubbing going for wins this season. And so if I'm Justin Duran and I see that 43 near me, I'm probably going to start sweating because we know what's going to happen when they get near each other.
Yeah, they race really hard together. They race very well together. It's a lot of take and no give between the two of them, but you know what, that's racing. It's a lot of fun to watch it happen. But right now as it stands, your current 2nd place on practice, Justin Duran, he is just looking to make sure he can find victory lane and punch his ticket tonight. He had a really good run last season. Of course, we mentioned it. A caution brought out by eventual race leader Jason Gracias took him out of contention for it, but he is looking to see if he can't pick up what would be only his 2nd win here in season number 4. For this number 5 truck, it'd be his 5th career win if he's able to win tonight. But the most important fact, of course, it will lock him in to the round of 4. So that's what he's looking forward to, and that's what he is after. Another playoff driver, one of the last ones we haven't talked about yet. That is Tristan Maher. Number 69 truck is on a 3-win season so far, including a win at Bristol a couple weeks ago. He is looking to see about bouncing back here tonight after that wreck at Kentucky. Kind of put him in a slight bit of a hole. He's currently 5 points back below the cut line. But if he has a good run here tonight, surely he'll end up on the positive side of that. But the thing I'm going to say as well, there's an elephant that's not in the room. If you look to the side of on your ticker, on your scoring pylon, we've only got 6 playoff drivers here. Cameron Caldwell is not going to be here tonight. He will not be racing. So what that's going to do is that's going to shake up the standings a little bit in the sense that Cameron came into this race 5 points above the cut line in 4th. Not showing up tonight means he's going to end up dropping into what essentially might be a must-win scenario unless something happens and everybody that's in this race as a playoff guy wrecks out on lap 2. Cameron's going to pretty much be in a pretty deep hole. I just hope he brought a ladder with him to that Oregon State game.
I hope he did. I hope he did as well. And question I have for you, Dawson, is because I'm sure we're going to get questions about it from the fans at home. Will we have that playoff ticker added into the broadcast as well?
Not tonight. Shamron Baldwell, as Shamron Baldwell does, did not update it for a round of 7. So, like, if I click the button right here, it's still the round of 10. Obviously, you can
Ah,
see it is not a round of 7, guys. It's just a round of 10. So, we will not have a ticker like that. We might have one next week. Don't hold me to it. We'll just have to see what Cam is able to muster up here this next week. Of course, trying to focus more so on getting some practice in, and also, everything else that comes with, being a college student. But, we'll see what he can work up. He's done a great job. Him and CT Graphics have done a great job with all of your graphics on JCTV, including your playoff ticker and your playoff graphics and everything in between. It's been a great job. So I'm not going to push too hard on that stuff because we're also still working on something else. So I don't want to push him for this. But right now we're watching qualifying that has begun. Brett Bennett out there first, one of the first playoff drivers to hit the track and start qualifying. Jamie Wright's also out there right now about to set his first lap time. But Brett Bennett's pretty much he's got this track circled as well. This is one of those tracks he feels like he can have a good shot at. He's got speed. It's just a matter of maintaining it and not losing the back end of that truck or hitting the wall. We'll see what he can do. But right now, that first lap time is going to be a 23.127.
about backed up what he did in practice. He's got a real nice arc in the turn I've been seeing, especially in 3 and 4. He has a nice diamond in the turn and gets a little speed coming off a little higher up the banking. This time, though, he stays a lot lower. But it's very smooth, and he just kind of lets it roll, and he's not overdriving it. Because I was seeing in practice earlier, a lot of guys were fishtailing coming off the turn to give you a sense, which gave you a sense of how hard some of them were pushing. Like, Dover's one of those tracks where it invites you to overdrive it and make a mistake. And you got to be disciplined enough to not do that.
Absolutely, but you saw Brett Bennett is now third fastest. 2 faster times from Tristan Maher and Ethan Fonseca Moreno knock him down the pecking order. Alonso Chicano that time goes 23.009. That's only 4th fastest for this 25 machine. That In the Pits News truck you can see there. Of course, I don't know if it's been mentioned here on the broadcast yet, but for sure I'll mention it now. Next season will no longer be the In the Pits News truck series. It will be the Amsoil truck series. So a new sponsor will be coming over to take over as title sponsor. So that tribute truck and the last In the Pits News truck that Chicano was running this season, it's a little tribute to thank In the Pits News for its 4 seasons of sponsorship here of the truck series. But we'll see how that truck fares tonight. Right now, Chicano is currently 5th fastest on the board, but we watch this guy rolling out here now, Justin Duran. We'll see how he does in qualifying here. Remember, qualifying awards a bonus point for the driver who notches the pole. So we'll see if he can do it. He did it last season at Dover. He led 89 laps in the race, but he wound up 2nd. We'll see if he can best that position by 1 tonight and punch his ticket to Fontana. Justin Duran through 1 and 2 on the back straightaway, heading to 3 and 4 now. Setting up for a good qualifying run so far at the stripe. It'll be a 22.948. That is going to be plenty good for the pole.
Yeah, I was a little worried because he was a little slightly sideways coming off the exit of the turn, but he was able to hold on the gas and keep up the speed and actually picked up from practice. Duran, Kerfan, Moreno, and Maher have all run faster than they did in practice.
Well, look who just took the 2nd spot just now. David Duran putting his name in the mix here for that front row. But we're watching Michael Kruger as it stands right now, trying to get around and see if he can't steal that pole away from Justin. He'll cross the stripe this time. It's not going to be enough. A 23.085. That'll only be good to bump him up to about 10th as it stands. And we see David Duran just slid coming to the line. He is not going to set another lap time. We've got about 5 drivers that have not yet entered the track to set a lap. So it looks like that is going to be it for our drivers that are going to attempt a qualifying run so far. See how
the Duran and Duran show on for the front row by the looks of it, and both of them are going to be hungry like a wolf as this race kicks off.
Man, we've made that joke so many times, but I don't think it ever gets old. No,
no, it doesn't.
It does not.
Well, you forget last time we were on together, I made a joke referencing A View to a Kill.
That is true. You did make that joke as well. But yeah, looking through this field, I believe this is the 2nd time in a while that we have had a Duran front row. Let me just verify that before I start spewing out a lot of nonsense or fake news, as they would say. Let me just double check here. because I want to make sure I've got my stat right. Here's a stat for you. This will be Justin Duran's 10th pole of his career. 10th time that 5 truck has started on the front row in position number 1. It's a pretty cool fact, I do say so myself, but we'll look and see if we've also got, what about our good buddy David Durand? How many times has he started outside pole? Has it been enough? It looks like it's only been 2 times that we have seen this front row of the Durand brothers, and indeed it is. So this is only the 2nd time ever that we've had a Durand front row, so celebrate that one. We'll take a look at the full starting grid so we can tell you everybody else that's not named Durand and where they're starting, because we said Durand a lot of times tonight. It's the Durands at Dover, so I guess that's why they're going to be the front row here tonight. Alex Kerfan and Ethan Fonseca Moreno are your 2nd row here tonight. Of course, Kerfan eliminated in the round of 10. Moreno locked in to the championship 4. There's Tristan Maher and Brett Bennett, 2 other playoff drivers making up row number 3. Row 4 sees Alonso Chicano, your Season 2 champion, and Corey Cook making a return for the first time since Pocono. Then you see there Josh Arnold and Michael Kruger. That's going to be your top 10.
And for the rest of the field, smaller field today, we have Jamie Wright on the inside of row 6, and then we have Tucker on the outside in the 64 truck, followed by Tyler Rolamone beginning inside of row 7 and Brian Haynes on the outside. And then we have Stotts on the inside of row 8 with Josh Carpenter, our GAC TV colleague, on the outside, and then rounding out the field in row 9 we have Havens on the inside in the 40 truck, and Matt Steiner riding shotgun on the field on the outside of row number 9.
You messed up on his name. It's Stotty Too Hottie. That's Matthew Stotts. That's Stotty Too Hottie. But anyways, race analysis tonight. It's a 200 lap affair, 204 miles. Our stage will be at lap 50 in the fuel window. It's Dover. Are we really going to have to worry about a fuel window? Partly cloudy with a track temperature of 92 degrees. It's going to be a good one here tonight. But Ben, I've got one last question. Who's your pick to win?
I'm going to go with Michael Kruger. He's won here before. He looked good in practice. I think he's going to be good on the long runs here. And this will be where he locks himself into Fontana.
Well, if you're going with that 10th place starter, I'm going to pick what I feel like should be an obvious choice. I'm going to go with the 5 of Justin Durand. I believe that Justin Durand is going to be the one to get it done. That 5 machine will finally crack victory lane here at Dover. He's come so close before. I think tonight he gets it done. So we're ready to go here. Pace car is going to lead this field around. Of course, we mentioned at the stage is the end of lap 50 here in the Amsoil Dover Dash. So we have got the field all nice and tightly wound together. It's round number 2 in the round of 7 tonight. A driver could punch their ticket to Fontana along with Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Who's going to be the one to wind up in victory lane and tame the monster? Pace truck is off. We round our way to the Geico restart zone, and the green flag is out. We're racing in the Dover Dash.
Justin Durand got a great launch. Already starting to take off a little bit. We got a battle for second, though, between Kerfan and David Durand.
They storm down the back straightaway for the first time into turn 3 under the Ally Bridge. It's still Justin leading the field. As you see him still side by side for second, Alex Kerfan and David Durand.
Good battle for fourth going on as well back there between Maher and Moreno. Looks like Moreno will triumph on that one.
Brett Bennett to the outside of Maher. Now this is for 5th between the two of them. 2 playoff drivers. You see Corey Cook peeking to the inside there for a second on Alonso Chicano. Now the door opens back up. Here comes the 61 trying to get inside and battle for second. Maher, though, struggling on that inside lane as Bennett now is going to clear for 5th. Here comes Alonso Chicano now to the outside of the 69 truck. And on top of all that, here comes Michael Kruger. He's already poking his way up through the field, already battling with Chicano for 7th.
Yeah, he's already gained quite a few spots here. Started off good exit there for Chicano to stay alive as this race evolves. There are some guys, depending on how good they've conserved their tires, that you're going to see later on these runs. Some of them will be able to get runs on the outside or even in the middle line there, and not necessarily needing to use the low line.
Just had a quick issue there. Harold Tucker had a little bobble there out of turn 4. We'll go back and look and see. Look at how sideways that 64 truck was. Oh, man,
Oh,
what a save by Harold Tucker to keep that truck from going around or going into the wall. So he's able to maintain it, keep it rolling, but right now scored 17th place, excuse me. He's going to be 5 seconds back in the lead. Right now, last place Scar just ahead of the field. It's Josh Coppernell, currently 18th, just ahead of the race leaders.
Coppernell must have to pit for something and had problems. Let's see if he can recover back from that.
I don't think he pit for problems. I think he ended up missing the grid because it shows that he started on pit lane with a 2-second stop.
Oh.
So I get the feeling he missed it. Oh, David Duran, though. He just missed the exit of the corner. Pancaked the outside wall there, but he hangs on to 3rd place for now. But here comes pressure for the race lead. It's Alex Kerfan now, right on the back bumper of Justin Durand. The top 10 all nice and neatly in this picture, just kind of taking it easy as they go right now. If you see a lot of issues on the side of the ticker, don't be shocked. That's Tyler Watermolen's internet issues that we see all the time. You see him flashing like he's pitting, then he's disappearing, then he's not there, then he's there. It is what it is. Coming to lap 10, it's Justin Durand still leading the charge. Alex Kerfan kind of backed off a little bit there, couldn't get enough of a run. But how about this 30 team? The season that he has had has been abysmal, to say the least, but it's not even really been terrible. He made the playoffs this year without a win. I mean, he's had a chance at some good runs, but just a lot of bad luck has really just taken him out of the equation. I mean, in the past stretch, the past 5 races, he's only had 1 finish inside of the top 13. His best finish throughout the playoffs so far, 14th at Pocono. He had a 4th place at Bristol, but it wasn't enough to save him from elimination. I mean, it's just been all sorts of disaster for this 30 team. But look at a rebound out of the playoffs now, but still looking for a nice rebound here. A good run going so far in 2nd place.
Definitely, and you hit the nail on the head. We've seen a lot of races where he has been like either a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd place car, and circumstances just play out. He'll get behind usually because of differences in pit strategy, and then while trying to battle his way back towards where he was running before, he gets caught up in some sort of accident. It's just been a very unlucky season for him. If there's anybody who's looking forward to resetting this offseason, it's Alex Kerfan.
The driver that's here in this mix that just didn't have a good break, that's the 24. That is David Durand. As he rolls his way around this racetrack right now, he pretty much had to be a virtually must-win situation as well in the first round of the playoffs after having to miss Bristol, but unable to win at Chicagoland. A poor finish takes him out of the playoffs in the first round, so here he is now outside of the playoffs, just looking for some good runs to close out the season, that 24 team.
And he's another one who's had a lot of speed during the course of this year as well, so having it in, like, if it hadn't been for a few mistakes at a few other tracks, it's one of those what ifs you gotta ask.
Ooh, Jamie Wright and Corey Cook both just clobbered one. I think Tristan Maher did the same. He is lagging back. Corey Cook now charging to the inside, but Jamie Wright just pancaked the wall, dropping back a little bit further back from this top 9 right here. You see that 00 right here in the background, that solid black 00 of Jamie Wright. He's had a pretty solid season here in this first go at it here in the Independence News Truck Series, looking to see if he can build upon that for next season's go, but right now sitting 10th place. You see back behind, Matthew Stotts just made a pass on Brian Haynes for the 12th spot. But it's just a big shakeup up in the front half of the field. Everybody's just kind of all together, but somebody who's not really having any issues so far has been the 43 Ethan Fonseca Moreno, trying to make some moves here. I think Brett Bennett just knocked the wall down as well. That's the thing we're going to see all night long, is the driver coming off of turn 2 or turn 4 and just walloping the outside wall.
these guys trying to the track invites you to make a mistake and overdrive it a little bit, and these guys are trying to push for that little bit of extra speed. So momentum does matter a lot here, and a lot of them are pushing it a little too far. Kruger just he's just easing his way forward. He just passed Bennett. From I'm noticing, Kruger is being very smooth. He's not trying to push the limits on the car. He's finding the ceiling. And as we say that, we're about to have a little bit of a battle here between Kerfan and Moreno.
This is the battle for second. You're talking about Kruger being so smooth with it. Yeah, you know, the issue with this track is the reason they call it the Monster Mile. I mean, it feels like a monster is just reaching out on these corners and just grabbing you and pulling you into the wall. It just feels so violent. You know, in these hits sometimes we'll see too. It's like he's just, it's like just playing with the toys. Playing with toys. It's like what it feels like. So, you know, you see these guys wash up the track on the exit of 4 or just come right to it or even smack that outside wall. You're going to see that all night. But, you know, right now, we saw Moreno make the pass for second. Just up ahead is race leader Justin Durand ahead of a lap car there, Josh Coppernell in the 42. Another pass here. Kerfan drops back another spot as here comes Alonso Chicano now starting to roar to life. Season 2 champion coming into tonight's race below the cut line. Right now, he's trending up and up.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler Watermole's connection has finally expired.
He has the connection of an Emerling Gase car, it seems like. You know, it just keeps faltering after the first opening laps. I don't know. Looks like he made it 17 laps was the total he made it. But looking through here, here's a quick battle. They're going to go 3 wide in the corner at Dover. That's pretty sketchy.
Oh, that's not going to work.
And Josh has to slam the brakes to let them go. That was some tight racing. Yeah, I saw Corey Cook, Brett Bennett, Tristan Maher trying to get by. Really scary stuff. But right now, Michael Kruger trying to work by both David Durand and Alex Kerfan to fight and claw his way up to 4th. Right now, he sits in the top 5. He is currently our biggest mover of the race, up 5 spots from the drop of the green flag. Second would be Alonso Chicano, who is up 4 spots, as is Matthew Stotts, both up 4 positions from the drop of the green flag. As Kruger continues to work to the inside here, Tristan Maher trying to see if he can make a move on Brett Bennett, currently 8th. This is going to be an important battle to watch as well, because when we get to that stage points payout position, I mean, they're going to have to be really careful. You see Bennett smacking the wall. I believe Corey Cook is right here in the mix as well. Kerfan might have smacked the wall as well. They're going to be 3 wide through the corner again.
Easy, boys. It's early. It's early.
Can't win this race here on lap 24 doing something like that, but you can lose it in just a matter of seconds. But right now, Corey Cook continues to fight to the front. Brett Bennett might have got the wall again. Common theme we'll see all night long.
As a result, you got Josh Arnold and Stoddy Tuhati are pulling up to this battle. We got a pretty big pack here right now, because well, these are all guys who have hit the wall at some point.
This is about 5th, all the way back to 12th. Or make it 11th, excuse me. Brian Haynes is way back in 12th, back in the background there. But 5th through 11th, all right here in this tight wad together. That's going to be big for these stage points that pay out. As you see, Josh Arnold trying to get to the inside of Brett Bennett now, making a move to the inside. That is for 9th place. And Brett just needs to stop the bleeding. He needs to keep these spots and keep going for points if he wants a chance to advance into this championship 4. But as it stands right now, Arnold's still fighting hard to the inside in that 22 truck. You can see Maher making a move on David Durand now. He will clear, so move the 69 truck up to 6th for now, but David trying to cross him back over.
I also think because of how hard Brett Bennett's been racing some of these guys out here, you got to think as we're getting later into the run here, the tires got to be gone on that car, because you're going to see the comers and goers start to emerge as the tire wear becomes a factor. We're going to see which guys did a good job of preserving their tires, like Kruger, and the guys who didn't do a good job of preserving their tires. And we're starting to see that emerge right now. Josh Arnold's already up to 7th now. He's gained 3 spots in 2 laps. He's one who's definitely taking care of his tires, and he may gain another one here because he's catching Tristan Maher.
Catching that 69 truck, Arnold is on a warpath, trying to make his way to the front if he can. Right now, coming up on about 21 laps to go, and we've got a battle for the lead starting to heat up. You mentioned it. 5 and 43. They're going to be close together, battling for this stage.
Dawson, it's like writing a WWE script. You know they're going to be all over each other. Moreno, you got to think maybe has preserved the tires a little better than Duran has. Gets a nice arc on the turn here. And then you see on exit here, Moreno really gets a gain because of that diamonding of the corner he does. Chicano's actually gaining a little bit of ground as well.
These two about to start battling. It's going to allow Chicano to try to reel them in from this 1.6 second gap. Now, the big thing, of course, is going to be the stage points that we award at the end of the stage. And once we get to the end of this one, 10
Duran
points.
Got a little loose there off the turn.
Yeah, I saw that, but I was going to say 10 points here is going to be a very big thing for Justin Duran. Now, either Fonseca Moreno, it doesn't matter to him. He's in the next round. This stage win means nothing, but for Justin, it's going to mean just about everything in this round. I mean, that 1 point could very well be what keeps him from advancing to the next round. So they're going to go side by side again through turn 4. Justin is the benefactor right now. He stays ahead, but Ethan is putting the pressure on this 5 truck.
What was there saying before with the history between these two guys? Just because Duran needs those points, that's why Moreno would want them. Also, just to kind of put the squeeze on him. Make him work for it a little bit. Make him sweat. Duran's defending pretty good right now. He had a good run off the high line last lap.
So in the vein of shocking things tonight, I want to point something out here. If you are a follower of the NASCAR Xfinity Series, you witnessed a impressive victory by Riley Herbst tonight.
Dominant victory.
Dominant victory. 15 seconds was the gap to second place. And not only that, but he cleared post-race inspections somehow, some way. But I bring him up because he was notorious for being a driver who has raced so long without a victory. Brett Bennett's not going to do that, I don't think, as soon as we pan back to him, he's in the wall again.
Oh,
but
my goodness. What are you doing, Brett?
There is still a possibility tonight, if things could go his way, Brett has a really good chance to try and sneak a win in at this track. He has had a very, very successful run at this track in his career. I wouldn't be shocked if we see this 47 truck up there near the end of this on some wacky strategy or just having a chance to win it at the end. He finished 3rd here last season, and then at season 2, I believe it was a pretty close run as well. I'll have to double check on that one before I tell you for certain. But I do believe in season 2 he also had a podium finish. Like, it was a really good run both races at this track. 4th place run. So yeah, I mean, he's been top 5 both races. But
the only thing that's helping him right now, Dawson, that he's still in the stage points position, is the fact that A, Alex Kerfan has hit the wall more times than he has, and B, Brian Haynes has used up all his rubber, and then everybody else behind Haynes is like well off the pace compared to these guys.
And they're too far back to make a difference right now. We'll have to see if they're able to make a difference. But another battle to watch, too. Besides this battle for the lead, there's a battle for 4th that is brewing. How about Corey Cook? Right here on the back bumper to Michael Kruger. Now, this can be big in the sense of it affects points. Again, that 1 point could mean the difference. It can mean everything. It can mean nothing. Brett Bennett's getting 1 point. He's behind the cut line. Michael Kruger's just up above it. If this is one extra point that he doesn't get towards that cut line, that could easily help in the long run for any of those guys that are below the cut line. So it just, every point matters. It's always going to matter. No matter how big or how small, that 1 point could mean the difference. So we're going to see if that plays a factor in this rest of this run tonight and the rest of this playoff run. So for now, Corey Cook trying to get by Michael Kruger here, coming up on 10 laps to go. Next time by in the stage, it's all going to come down to it.
Hate to pick the wound, Dawson, but correct me if I'm wrong. Parker Kligerman missed the Xfinity playoff transfer by 1 point. Am I correct?
I believe so as well. Yeah, it was just a few points, if not one, that kept that 48 from moving on. So we'll see that kind of play a factor here tonight. But right now we got a battle for the lead again.
Got loose again.
Here comes Moreno back to the inside. 10 laps to go here in the stage.
Oh, Duran's really squeezing down on Moreno, trying to get him to lose the nose, and he's still sticking with it. kind of loses the grip a little bit there off of 2. So good defensive driving by Justin Duran, but Moreno is not going to be denied.
Moreno with a diamonding the corner there in 3 and 4. Going to see if he can make this run at this race lead yet again. He's going to go high, then dip back low on exit. Can he make a charge down the back straightaway at Justin Duran again and try to peek the nose to the inside?
Don't take each other out, boys. Like you do sometimes. Like let's race hard, but let's keep it clean.
Going to be 8 to go with the line this time.
Good run off of 4 for Moreno. That could set him up here in 1 and 2.
These 10 points
mean diamond corner again.
Yeah, these 10 points are going to mean everything for Justin Duran right now. And while 9 points also sounds pretty good, 10 is better than 9. And he wants to hold on and keep those points. Right now, he's led every lap so far this race. And he wants to keep it that way if he can. 89 last season. Wanting to see if he can build back on that and capitalize and make this his race to win. Right now, he's going to have to keep fending off who is now the only driver locked into the next round, Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
And he's got to know, like, besides Cameron Caldwell not being here, Brett Bennett kind of struggling with the handle on the car right now in 10th. If he can take a 9-point swing on, or even a 10-point swing on Bennett, that'd be huge.
There's the pass for the lead, though. He washed up on exit at turn 4. Moreno to the point.
Let's see. Passing him is one thing, though. Let's see if Moreno can run away with it. What's interesting is in these last couple laps, they might hit a couple lap traffic because you got Steiner and Tucker just ahead of them in view.
Make it 5 to go in the stage. Can Moreno hold off and take the stage win away from Justin Durand?
Got a battle for 5th starting to shape up back there, too, between Cook and Arnold.
As the gap continuing to grow from 1st and 2nd, Moreno slowly pulls away. And while Duran's not going to get full points, I mean, you can't hang your head in shame still at a 9th place, a 9 points, I should say. 9 points for this 2nd place run. But you see lap traffic going to play a factor here. It's Harold Tucker, Matt Steiner just up ahead of the race leaders, then up ahead as well. That's Josh Copperdall in the 42.
And look how hard Steiner and Tucker are racing each other. They know who's right behind them.
Yeah, because if they get past both of them, that's a battle for the free pass between the two of them. But it's going to be 2 laps to go at the line for the stage. Steiner holding the bottom. Coppernell going to try to go. Oh, Moreno wanted to squeeze the middle if he could. He's going to try to shoot the middle. Can't quite do it. Going to set back up. Go to the inside of Steiner. And now Durand, if he can navigate quick enough, but it's not going to matter too much because they're going to occupy those higher lanes, not really give Moreno a chance. Or not really give Durand a chance at Moreno. It's the last lap in the stage. No, look, now Chicano might have a chance as well at 2nd.
Oh, Harold Tucker not doing any favors for Durand back there.
Coming through 3 and 4. It's going to be Ethan Fonseca Moreno picking up the stage win here tonight. That'll be his 4th stage win on the season. And the caution will fly, but Moreno picking up the stage win. There you see your finishing results. Moreno, Durand, Chicano, Kruger, 4 playoff guys picking up big needed points. And Corey Cook slipping his way into 5th. And there was Josh Arnold, Tristan Maher, David Durand, and Matthew Stotts. And then Brett Bennett was able to get those last points that he needed. See if he can try to hang on. So we'll get a hold of Moreno in just a little bit. Right now, we're going to get these points tallied up. Kind of gets you a little better update on how the playoffs are shaken out to be, hopefully, in due time. So as they go to make their pit stops, quick update on the points as things stand. It looks like Justin Duran holds a 21-point gap over the next spots. You see pit lane where everybody rolling off there. That is not pit lane's camera. That is the start finish lane camera. There we go. Kind of late to see it all, but there you see the field rolling off of pit lane. Moreno scored as your race leader, winning the race off pit road. Hey, Ben, what do you say we dial up the stage winner and see what he thinks, see how he's feeling? You know, he won the race last week. It doesn't matter, but able to still win the stage anyways. How's he feeling?
Yeah, let me pull him in here and we'll find out. Hey, Ethan, it's Ben Smith up in the booth. You got a copy?
Sir.
Ethan, congratulations on the stage win there. Heck of a battle between you and Justin Duran there in the last few laps to see who would take that stage. Take us through that.
Yeah, I knew that this is probably one of my better tracks, so this is one of those tracks where you gotta save tires here. So, yeah, coming off of that win, gotta really, I'm just being patient with these guys. You know, just kind of driving my own race, and yeah, I was just sitting behind Justin, just waiting, just to force him into an error maybe. But I could see he's driving a little high up on the exit of a four, so I could see he's burning off that right front. So. Yeah, it was just a matter of time before he made that mistake, so I can pass him there.
So, Ethan, even though you're already locked into Fontana to go for the championship, but describe to the folks at home that they may not have necessarily appreciate by you continuing to go for these wins and stage points and kind of put the squeeze on your competition. Some of the guys who might be bigger threats to you can still be in very vulnerable positions by you continuing to race hard like that, which ultimately plays in your favor in the long run.
Yeah, well, I mean, the points don't really matter anymore. It's just whoever finishes higher in the last what's round there. So I'm just doing my own race here, just trying to, you know, go ahead and grab another win. It's not really going to be any useful for the next round, but um, yeah, I'm just as competitive as everybody else is here. So I will, just go for the win as hard as I can every week.
And last thing I'll ask you, Ethan, before I let you go for the restart, um, you were talking about tires earlier, and it was clear you were doing a good job taking care of them. Describe to the folks at home, like, just how important tire wear is here at Dover.
Yeah, you gotta run a certain line here. Just don't let your truck slide up a little bit too much. You know, you don't want to cook up the tires. You know, because if you do that, you're gonna fall back a lot. And I mean, Justin is not really an example, but just to use him, you see him kind of slide up a bit and cook up the right front. So, if you be patient, you can get around these guys, make your way to the front.
Awesome, Ethan. Thank you for your time, and good luck the rest of the race. We'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
And back to you, Dawson.
Yeah, we're going to see how this plays out as Moreno, of course, winning the race off pit road as well. He's going to start inside of row one. How about Alonso Chicano starting outside of row one? There, Justin Duran, Michael Kruger, then it's Tristan Maher, Corey Cook, David Duran, Alex Kerfan, then Brett Bennett and Brian Haynes is your top 10 as they make their way to the Geico restart zone. The green flag is going to fly. Back racing here for the Amsoil Dover Dash.
Great restart for Moreno. Look at that jump he got, about 2 truck lengths.
Gets out in front. They're still side by side back here for second. Just into the inside of Chicano. Just be ready for this big wash up we might see for some drivers on the exit of turn 4 here on the fresh tires.
Kruger definitely trying to seek that low line there, seeing if he can try and get a nose underneath Chicano and Duran. He's being very patient with these two guys while they battle.
Yeah, he is doing everything he can in his power to stay patient. We'll go on board with this 14 as he's side by side now with Chicano, trying to make his way through these two.
Got to make sure, though, you're not getting too sideways off the turn. That's how you can accelerate the tire wear. Just be nice and smooth on exit. See, Duran slides like that. Moreno pointed that out during his interview, that Duran tends to slide a lot on exit and really wears out his right side tires.
Battle still, though. Still side by side.
they touch.
Maybe a little contact there. But we got somebody still in the back. A lot of damage.
Oh,
Brandon
somebody in the wall.
Havens. A lot of damage. No caution, however. They're still going to be green, but still battling is Kruger and Chicano. A little side by side, maybe a little contact, but they get it back going. No issues. Still battling hard for second and third.
Looks like Havens right at the end there decided to tow it rather than create a caution, which I think was a good move on his part. Curious to see what happened to him.
We'll take a quick look back and see what happened to this 40 truck. He is rolling up on the back of Matthew Stotts and just loses it. And then right here, bam, right into the inside wall.
That is one of the worst spots, Dawson, where you can hit. How many times have you and I, as NASCAR fans, seen guys lose it off of 2 and just destroy their front end on that inside wall?
Ooh, plenty of times. I was just about to say, another driver about to lose. There was Brett Bennett, got sideways in the exit at turn 4. He gets it gathered back up and still rolling, but he loses the spot to Jamie Wright. So Brett Bennett now still the lowest scored playoff driver as it stands. He is in 10th place. He's going to need a little bit of luck on his side to get back up into this fight here. But right now, Michael Kruger takes the second spot. He looks to see if he can try to hunt down Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
Yeah, Kruger got clear of Duran pretty quickly. Chicano's still all over the back end of Justin Duran. Kruger's done a good job of taking care of the tires throughout the first stage, just like Moreno did. And I'm curious to see how that'll equal out, who can find some speed. Herfan battling with Cook back there.
Yeah, the other thing about this, too, with Corey Cook, a good run going so far. Non-playoff driver, the Dash for Cash is still a thing. I mean, we still have the Dash for Cash going on for all of our non-playoff guys, for them to have a chance to compete for something. Of course, David Durant, Alex Kerfan, they're out of the playoffs, but they are not eligible. The only eligible drivers are those that did not make the playoffs and are joining in these races and running. So right here, we're looking at Corey Cook, currently leading of those drivers that are not in the playoffs right now. The winner of this Dash for Cash tonight will join Nathan Fuller and Brian Haynes into the finale at Fontana. So we'll see how this shakes out for our Dash for Cash, but Corey Cook is looking to be the one to beat tonight in terms of the non-playoff drivers.
He's been very smooth and consistent during this race as well. And we talk about, we mentioned briefly earlier, guys who are non-playoff drivers who could potentially play spoiler, and he's the top non-playoff driver, and he could easily play spoiler if something happens with these guys up ahead of him. Still tight 2, 3, 4 right there between Kruger, Durand, and Chicano. Durand's managed to close back up a little bit to Kruger.
Continue to watch Corey Cook in 5th place for another good run.
Starting to separate himself from Kerfan. Let's see if he can close up to Chicano there and give him a run.
Absolutely looking to see. 4th place finished in Pocono a couple weeks ago to open up the playoffs. That 4th place run at Pocono with the best career finish of his 4 career starts thus far. And career start number 5, ranked top 5. This would be a 4th top 10 if he's able to hold on to it tonight. 4th top 10 in those 5 career starts, so good run yet again by that 61 truck. But right now, battle for 3rd possibly heating up. Justin Duran trying to hang on as Alonso Chicano is right there.
Meanwhile, Ethan Fonseca Moreno has basically checked out and left the building.
Yeah, and even if he left the building, I mean, it wouldn't be an issue. He's not worried about anything. He's worried about just racking up some wins and seeing what he can do. Here's a fun fact for you. This season, every one of Ethan Fonseca Moreno's stage wins came within close proximity to his race wins that he's had so far. His first stage win the next week was his first career win. Then would be his second stage win coming after his second win at Texas. He won the next race his stage at Martinsville. Then he won stage 3 at Kansas. A few weeks later, he wins at Kentucky, and then he wins the stage here tonight after last week winning at Kentucky. So just another little fun Strictly Stat fact presented by Strictly Stats because, you know, why not be presented by Strictly Stats? So as we continue on here in this race, it is still a tight battle for third. We got somebody on pit road here. Jamie Wright is pulling off into the pit lane.
He hit the wall. Did he hit something, or is this a strategy call?
I don't think this would be a strategy call on lap 72. But Jamie Wright is on pit road now. The field continuing as they make their way through 3 and 4. It looks like Jamie Wright has actually left the session entirely, possibly. He is out of the cockpit and might have also left the session and be out of the race. I believe Brandon Havens, he'll join Brandon Havens and Tyler Watermole as 3 drivers out of the race. So the big thing for that, though, is that means there's only 15 cars on track right now that are racing. In the sense of points, the person that does not need that is the driver who is currently 9th place, Brett Bennett. I mean, he needed these guys that were his competition to be dropping out like flies. He needed some of these guys, like maybe Tristan Maher or Alonso Chicano, to DNF this race and wreck out or finish out back. But with them currently running, 4th and 8th, it's going to virtually put Brett in a must-win situation next week.
Pretty much, you're correct on that. He needs to win, either needs to have some strategy and win today, or really hit the setup and get the win next week. Those are his only hopes after having a disastrous race last week.
Yep, but of course he hoped that it would benefit him too, that everybody else had issues last week, but it wouldn't have been enough. He was one of the few that had an accident, but of course he was not able to benefit from anybody else having misfortune. He is stuck in a hole, and he's going to have to get the shovel out next week if he doesn't get it done tonight. We have crossed, I believe that's the 3/8 mark just a few laps ago. Shout out to my math nerds, a 3/8 mark in this race at lap 77. It has been a bit of a back and forth, I'd say, between 2 drivers, really. I mean, we had Justin Rand leading, now it's Ethan Fonseca Moreno, but the playoff drivers have really been the big name here. 1 through 4 as it runs right now: Moreno, Kruger, Duran, Chicano. As we take a look at the rest of your top 10 as they run right now, we're going to take you on a JCTV side-by-side break. Don't change that dial. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these next few ad break commercials, or whatever they call them. We're taking a break. My mouth hurts.
Pit road is open. Eric.
Well, Nate, they're trying to make the most of a frustrating day. No! Drift! We can just quit now. Enough of that garbage. Absolutely terrible. Hey, let's go. As it seems, we can lose. I'm going to try to get you going just a little bit. You do your job, I'll do mine, okay? Shake it off here and pull your belt tight. Go, 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 go. Tony? How you feeling, bud? I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a home.
Fly the blimp, too much hot air. Race announcer, same thing there. Wouldn't get a word in with you know who. Just get down on the track and do what you do. Slide down in my seat, pull the belts tight. Get up on the wheel and let the dust fly. Napa know how. Napa know how.
Ooh. Call Logano. Hey, Joey, you can save money if you fill up at Shell if you use Advanced Auto Parts Speed Perks.
Dude, I'm way ahead of you.
You saved at the pump?
Yeah, I saved at the pump.
The pump?
The pump.
He saved at the pump!
Now you can save at the pump when you shop at Advance Auto Parts. Learn more at advanceautoparts.com/gas rewards.
Now, it's my turn.
So what do you got in that loader, Tony?
Just did my mail run, Chase. 3,100 pounds of letters from the best fans on earth.
You have this many fans.
Yes.
You sure some of this isn't hate mail?
Nope. All fan mail.
This one's about weight loss.
That's not mine.
It has your name on it.
I'm a popular guy.
It says VIP membership renewal.
Not cool to read other people's mail, kid.
This isn't fan mail.
Mahindra, the official tractor of Tough and Stewart Haas Racing.
Man, running out of hot water, that's like running out of gas during a race.
You got that right.
That's why I'm getting a Richmond water heater, man. They're dependable.
A real winner.
They got everything here, too. And the prices, they're low.
Come to Menards. Check out our huge selection of Richmond water heaters in stock today. You'll save big money now. Low prices, lower energy cost.
Man, what an awesome store.
I'm proud to have them as a partner.
Let's go win some races for Menards.
Let's do it.
Save big money at Menards.
Man, we're door to door. I have the better car, fresher tires. I drove it in deep, and you missed it. I know you wanted to watch it, but you got throttled by your data plan, and it slowed you down. You hit your data limit streaming all that techno music, didn't you? I mean, really? Man, you've got some questionable taste in music.
Switch to Sprint, the only network with truly unlimited data.
Oh, the new Nosferatu drink. Oh, Kyle Busch. Oh, cash, credit, or debit?
Well, man, I'm fresh out, but it is my drink.
Oh, I mean, not really. I mean, it's more my drink.
I changed my hat.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Get rowdy.
Welcome you back here to the Amsoil Dover Dash. It is lap number 90. We've got 110 laps to go. It is all Ethan Fonseca Moreno leading the pack here tonight. Who is going to stop this 43 machine as these laps continue to wind down? We've had a good battle, though, brewing for fourth between Alonso Chicano and Corey Cook.
Yeah, we were mentioning it during commercial break. Corey Cook we saw during the initial stage, he has a good long-run truck, and he's showing it again here today. He does a good job of taking care of the tires, not sliding around too much, whereas I think Alonso's tires are starting to go. And I think we need to keep an eye on the 61 truck as somebody who could play spoiler in this race.
And Corey Cook qualified 8th, been up in this top half of the field all race long. So looking to see if they can play playoff spoiler here tonight. But right now, still got 4 playoff trucks ahead of him. He's going to have to get through in the later stages of this race. It's just a matter of how this strategy will cycle out and who will be able to come out on top. But Corey Cook's setting up to have a really good run here tonight and have a good chance. Battle for 10th as well going on. Matthew Stott, Stotty Too Hottie battling with Brian Haynes. As was mentioned, Brian Haynes coming in to tonight. He is locked in to the Dash for Cash for the championship battle at Fontana. He'll have a chance to race for the big cash prize at the end of the season. We'll see if he can get out there and try to win it. Right now battling for 10th. If he can try to get by, or he starts to try to get by him. As they continue to duke it out back in the back half of this field. Now we've hit 42 laps since the caution, since the stage break. So it's been 42 laps since we've had our pit stops. So will that play a factor possibly? And when I get our next pit stop, as you can see here, the gap is 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds for Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Pit stops likely soon here, I would imagine, coming up on 45 laps. I got to think we're going to be pitting here soon.
Yeah, definitely. It's just the tires are wearing off for some of these guys. I mean, look at the gap Moreno has over Kruger right now. 3.3 seconds. Like, he is just gone. He's about to hit some lap traffic here, though. As we have Harold Tucker and Josh Coppernoll battling each other. Well, I wouldn't say battling. One of them's 1 lap down, the other one's 2 laps down.
I think a friendly competition, I would say, is the way it's going to be.
I mean, they're the only 2 trucks out there are laps down right now. Bit of a struggle out there today for our JCTV colleague.
Yeah, starting from pit lane, it seemed like, and it's just been uphill ever since, but now 3 laps down for Josh. But if there's anything Josh is a knack for, it's a knack for going down an absurd amount of laps and then coming back and finishing on the lead lap anyways. But right now, he's got 3 laps left to overcome. It's a decent gap, but it's not too much. Yeah, it's not too terrible. But
well, I don't think he's gonna have coming back from 5 laps down at IRP situation here.
Well, it was 8 laps down at IRP, and that wasn't just 5; it was 8.
That's
but also,
right.
Too,
it was 8 laps down.
Thing is, too, he doesn't have the field all wrecking like crazy and driving like they don't know how to.
There's also far less trucks today than there was in that race.
Yeah.
I think we had like 27, 28 trucks for that race. The next truck that will fall victim to Ethan Fonseca Moreno will be Matt Steiner.
Well, we got a pit stop here. There's Brett Bennett. There we go. The first playoff driver to make his way to pit road. That could be the start of the cycle. We'll see here, but he'll be first rolling down. Looks like he'll be the only one rolling down for now as Moreno and Steiner there bypass it.
You know, I kind of like the call for Brett Bennett. You're not gaining anything on these guys. They're obviously going to try and push the fuel mileage a little longer. You might as well try and see if you can short pit and gain some ground on them on the back end.
Ooh, Steiner almost got the wall, and Moreno trying to lap him. Almost got it as well. Looks like Maher just missed pit entry. Oh. Big mistake. He hit the barrels.
He towed it.
That's going to be what we're looking for. He is going to end up calling it a race. This is what's so treacherous about entering pit road, and you see the first one to bite the dust on it. It's going to be Tristan Maher, playoff driver, involved and out of it now. He is going to be gone for the race. You see 2 other drivers there, Kruger and Chicano, make it to pit road. But my goodness, that is going to turn everything on its head. Matthew Stotts makes his way to pit lane.
I think that just scared everybody into the pits. Did I not call it, Dawson?
Oh, Moreno almost missed it, but Matt Steiner behind him's going to miss it.
We might need to check. Did Moreno speed there coming into the pits?
I
He
don't
was a
think
little quick coming in.
Did, but he was sideways. See everybody else filtering onto pit road safely. Durand, it looks like Kurt Fan. David as well. There's Corey Cook as well on pit lane. Matt Steiner had to go another lap. Brian Haynes, Josh Arnold also stayed out an extra lap, waiting for them possibly next time by to enter pit lane. But with Arnold trying to go side by side, battle for the lead. I doubt either of these drivers are going to pull down pit lane this time by.
Oh, it's a little busy down there at the pit entrance. Yikes! Both of them get sideways going off the turn.
Looking at the field, who's still on pit lane. There goes Ethan Fonseca Moreno rolling off now. Michael Kruger right now. Currently 9th was the first truck off of pit lane. Now, Ethan did not have a penalty. He is still out and going, so he is fine. But we're going to watch our top 2 here.
Boy.
Brian Haynes and Josh Arnold have yet to come to pit lane. It has been 52 laps since Haynes, 50 laps since Arnold has come down pit lane. You see some smoke up ahead, it looked like. Might have been just from them rolling off of pit lane. You see how long it's been since they have made their last stop. But they are racing like they're battling for the win right now. Arnold and Haynes are, but looks like Arnold finally backing off. Looks like he is going to slow things up to give enough space. I'm still going for it.
As I was saying, Dawson, I I mentioned earlier in the pre-race, that pit entry is treacherous. It's one of the hardest pit entries in all of NASCAR.
And the driver to bite the bullet, Tristan Maher, playoff driver. Huge implications
Major playoff
at the end of this one with him missing pit lane. There you see Brian Haynes finally pulling off and pulling to pit lane. He's going to make a nice and easy entrance to pit lane. So that leaves Josh Arnold as the last driver to cycle around as the pit stops come to a close when he makes his pit. Looks like right now Moreno and Kruger still the top two, and Moreno has a 4-second gap over Michael Kruger. A huge lead over what will be second place when the cycle concludes, but Arnold slowly, not yet on the apron, going to make his way around. Might take one extra lap and then finally pull it down pit lane. He's got the lap advantage over what is now second place, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, so he's going to take the fullest advantage of it to the fullest. Is Moreno just there in the background in the picture. So we'll see how running long shakes out for the 22 and the 86. That also means, too, 54 laps is about the max you can make. Maybe 55, because Arnold's going to stay out again.
I would say also we should mention this. We briefly alluded to it earlier. A little tip of the cap to Tristan Maher for, as soon as he destroyed his truck, immediately towing it instead of sitting there and allowing a caution to come out. It's allowing these guys to race and see how the strategy plays out.
Arnold going to get out of the way. That's Moreno unlapping himself there. As they continue here, Arnold still yet to come to pit lane. Still yet to come to pit lane. Pushing 57 laps now since coming to pit road. But the big highlight I want to talk about this too, I mean, could this play a factor in maybe seeing how strategy shakes out? Maybe just kind of easing into it to see how far you can stretch it to know maybe when that last stop's going to be. Because, I mean, right there, the way he's run it now, I mean, with how long Arnold's running it right now, he's in a spot where he could try to play this to be a, 2-stop race. He can make one more stop after this next one, make it 2 stops, I should say. But making it a 2-stop race, make one more stop after this one, well down the line, and then just stretch. I feel like that's what we're going to see this 22 team do.
Yeah, especially when you don't have the speed of Moreno, Kruger, Duran, and Chicano. Might as well flip the script and see what you can get. I will say that short pitting worked out pretty good for Bennett. He gained a few spots.
So far, he's running in what would be 6 when the cycle concludes. But, I mean, the big thing about this, too, that I'm seeing from Arnold, I mean, what does he have to lose? The most, his win he can get is the Dash for Cash. He's out of the playoffs. I mean, he's got the best of the rest pretty much all but locked up. So, what's there to lose by trying something out and just gambling? Throw it out there. It's Vegas weekend in real life. Might as well throw out a gamble and see what happens. So, you see Michael Kruger finally unlapping himself 5 seconds back of what will cycle to be race leader Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Arnold is just staying out and staying out. Not yet coming to pit lane.
I agree with you, Dawson. You have nothing to gain or lose, so you might as well use this to do some experimenting, some research and development, if you will.
And if you listen in, I mean, you can hear it. He is saving fuel. He is clutching in, saving. He is not pushing it or anything. He is acting like this is, the last few laps of the race. Needed to save fuel. He's out of the gas pedal, in the clutch, rolling through the corners, and then maybe back on it. I mean, he's not losing anything doing that. He's just gaining more time until he has to pit again. So this could be a very interesting strategy to see how it plays out for Josh Arnold in this 22 camp.
Looking at some of the other guys, look at the gap between Moreno and Kruger there, Dawson.
Yeah, 5 seconds is still the gap. But as you see more drivers continuing to unlap themselves from what is currently race leader Josh Arnold, I mean, Moreno's got a huge gap over second place, what would be second place Michael Kruger. And then it's a big gap back to Alonso Chicano, about a second gap. Then it's about another second gap to Justin Duran, and then another second gap to Alex Kerfan, who will cycle through as 5th. But Arnold's still staying out. It's been 63 laps, make it 64th the line since the 22 camp has been on pit road. Now, the thing is about this, if he can stretch it to about 80-something, or if he can stretch it close to 80, or maybe even just 70, I think might be the magic number. If he can stretch it close to 70-ish, that might be the factor of how he makes it this entire race on just one more stop. I mean, right now, the way he's rolling, he's got about 11 seconds is the lead. He's got 81 laps to go. He's been out there for 65. I mean, I'm not able to do the math right now. Sorry, math nerds, but splitting it down the middle is going to be kind of difficult. But, I mean, we'll see how it shakes up. I mean, right now, he's still out on track. With 80 laps to go, 66 is the number he's at right now. So if my math doesn't fail me, that's about another 7 laps he's going to stay out, maybe. So that should put him at about 73 laps would be his number. I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure either. We'll have to... I think the only way we're going to know for certain is when he actually does pit. It'll also help us get a sense of just how far you can stretch this fuel run.
Yeah, but right now...
tires...
I mean, that's going to be... I mean, the tires doesn't seem to be an issue more than it is him just clutching and saving fuel. I mean, he's not washing up in the track. Like I said, every corner he is out of the gas entirely on the clutch pedal, saving fuel. And if you notice, too, he's still got 8-second lead over what is second place now, Ethan Fonseca Moreno. I mean, he's still got a healthy lead. So, the big thing is how this will shake up. If he can make this happen the second cycle around, I mean, you could be looking at what is potentially a race-winning call if this all goes the way that Arnold needs it to go. He's still got an 8-second gap. He is still saving fuel. This is gonna be fun to watch. But the big thing is gonna be
almost went off the wall there.
Yeah, watching David Duran. The big thing for Josh Arnold is gonna be this has to go caution free. If there's any cautions, it throws a wrench in these plans. I mean, a caution now would work out, or a caution when he's leading at the second end of it will work. But right now, if he pits and a caution comes out, that just takes the strategy and just throws it out the window pretty much entirely.
Oh, completely. But I like the call. I really do like the call because we haven't had any accidents we have had. It's been single car wrecks and the guys have towed immediately. It's been very clean racing today, which is a nice, kind of a refreshing contrast from what you and I have been used to when I've called races with you.
Absolutely. So coming around here, it'll be 75 laps to go when we hit the stripe. It will be 71 laps since Josh Arnold last came down pit road. A 6-second gap over second place Ethan Fonseca Moreno as it stands right now. So it seems like Arnold can hit the midway point and split it in half, but you kind of see him rolling really slower on the bottom. I mean, he is definitely in just full-on fuel save mode. If he can just make it maybe these 2 or 3 more laps, like I think the estimate that I had on it was for the split, this could easily be a case of making it work and, making it one stop here in the second stage of this race.
Definitely. I'm curious to see how it plays out. Meanwhile, Moreno is now at 5 seconds back.
Now, here's the other thing, too. I mean, watching these lap times and everything, I mean, Arnold's only a second slower than Moreno, really. If even a second. Yeah. It's not like he is blowing this lead. It's not like Moreno is just chewing into it every lap like it's nothing.
It's taken a long time for Moreno to get back to him.
Yeah, I mean, Arnold's able to save every lap and only lose about a second of this lead. So this is going to be an outstanding strategy call by the 22 team. If they can somehow make this work, if things go their way and the cards fall into place, I mean, this could be an impressive strategy call that could give them a shot to win this race. But of course, that all relies on this race going green for about another 71, 72 laps. So we'll see if it does stay green, but Arnold looks like finally slowing down, so that is the number right there. It's going to be 71 laps, a 74-lap stint that time, but Moreno finally going to blow by and take back this race lead as we cross the stripe. 71 laps remain in this race, but it'll be fun to watch that 22 team and see what they can do.
So I've done some research, Dawson, and I found what the max fuel window, unless iRacing changed it in the last couple of years, I know we have the exact fuel window for Dover, and it's 81 laps.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to judge that one. 81 laps would be max save, I think, from the drop of the green. As soon as you get going, I would assume that's what that's going to be. But right now, I mean, are they going green the rest of the way so far? Right now, we're looking at 69 laps to go this time by. Arnold right now is currently 11th. He is a lap down, rolling off of pit lane. You'll see in the background, not too far back, is going to be race leader Ethan Fonseca Moreno. So Arnold cycles through just a lap down. He's going to have to make some progress, though, and see if he can't get up there and try to get some extra spots as this race progresses and make his way around and see if this one-stop call might be what wins him the race. But here's the other thing. Based on when the other drivers pit, they pit with about 45 laps on their run, and right now they're coming up on about 15 laps until that one. That would put the field at close to 50 to go. So they might stretch this run a little bit longer, or they might just go ahead and take it now and then stretch it near the end of it. We'll see how things shake out. We got a battle, though, on track for third. Duran and Chicano side by side there for a second, but now Duran takes over position number 3. Chicano still putting pressure on the back bumper of the 5. Well, we got ourselves a nice spread out field. Everybody's just navigating their way nice and safe. So, Ben, I mean, what do you say we kick our feet back, grab that dial, and turn it up?
Go for it.
make our way to the start-finish line this time. Ethan Fonseca Moreno continuing to lead this field. It's going to be 56 laps to go, and we should be coming close to another set of pit stops in just a few laps here at Dover for the Amsoil Dover Dash in round number 2. Race number 2, round number 2 of the playoffs here for the Season 4 in the Pits News Truck Series Championship. Your race leader, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, has already punched his ticket to Fontana, so this will just be a bonus win on top of that. Michael Kruger in second place right now is looking for a good race to punch his ticket, hopefully, into the next round. But then our pole sitter, Justin Durand, looking to try to get back up there to the front. He's led a bunch of laps, but it's not going to be the most. That's going to go to Moreno as it stands right now, and I believe it's all but locked up for the 43, so that bonus point is going to be taken away from anybody else to try to earn. So Justin's going to have to just rely on a good points finish as it stands right now.
There are two things, Dawson, strategy-wise here we got to take a look at. One, Brett Bennett short-pitted last time. We'll see if he does that again. It actually helped him. He was running 10th, 11th before that, and now he's consistently holding 7th, pitting a few laps earlier. Let's see if he can gain more spots from that. And then, of course, what everybody's been talking about is this strategy from Josh Arnold. Stotts is on pit road.
Stotts on pit road, likely going to start this cycle up here for our drivers. See Moreno going by the front stretch at the start-finish line.
Based on our math, Arnold went all the way 74 laps. And based on that math, and when he came out, he should definitely be able to make it if this thing goes green all the way.
Another driver in, Alex Kirkfan, going to pull down pit road now as well. This will start our playoff drivers, hopefully, or possibly, I should say, making their way down pit road next.
Oh, so Bennett got real sideways coming on pits.
Bennett sideways, but makes it to pit road. David Durand battling Brian Haynes there for what is the 6th place spot. I believe it's Justin Durand. Oh, Durand's going to slide! Gets it straight onto pit road. It'll cost him just maybe a couple seconds, but able to keep from disaster for the 5 team, making it onto pit road.
I was fully expecting him, Dawson, to take a header straight into the inside pit wall.
It was close, but he kept it straight. And still going, I believe Michael Kruger coming to pit road this time as well. Indeed he does. Chicano stayed out. Will hold on to the 2nd spot, battling with Alex Kerfan. Corey Cook gonna make his way. Corey Cook's not gonna be as fortunate as Justin Durand. A great race, and David Durand just missed pit road. He just missed the pit barrels. Holy moly, that would have been a disaster for the 24 team. But he missed the pit barrels, but he missed pit road, so it's going to cost him time, but missing the barrels is all that matters. Ethan Fonseca Moreno is on pit road now as well.
Stotts is still on pit road, I think. Is Stotts done? Bennett's still down there, too. I wonder if Bennett hit, when we saw him get loose going into pit road, did Bennett hit the pit wall?
I don't think Bennett hit the pit wall. I think Bennett got a speeding penalty. We'll take a look back. See if we can't find out. Oh, no! Oh, no! Bennett, no! He hit the outside wall there.
Oh, Brett, no.
And then he comes around next time by and...
Sounds like I thought I saw him teleport quickly from the entrance to his pit stall, but yeah, he hit it.
I paid no attention to it, but another playoff driver taken away by that treacherous pit road entry.
That's yep, and the engine blows right there. He's done.
So right now your race leader is going to be Brian Haynes. Now the big thing for Arnold is he is not going to have a lap on what is going to be 2nd place. Either I'm saying we're going to have this battle here happening for 3rd between Kerfan, Durand, and Kruger. tight fight battle for second here.
Yeah, that's real tight.
Kurt Van might have got the wall. You see here, they're catching up. Catching up to Josh Arnold here. Arnold, of course, trying that unorthodox strategy, going to see if he can stretch it all the way. Kurt Van behind him, going to try to get by him. Arnold might have got the wall, just kept it off it. So he is going to maintain and keep it straight. Meanwhile, though, race leader is Brian Haynes out in front.
I don't like that gap he has to Moreno. It's not as big as last time.
No, but if it's manageable, that's all that matters. All that matters is if he can manage it. Another driver on pit road, I believe that was Josh Coppernol. But you see the battle between Durand, Kruger, and Kerfan still ongoing. Kruger gets the best of these two, and he will advance into what is currently fourth, but will cycle through as second in due time. Chasing down race leader Brian Haynes to get their lap back. Haynes has yet to come to pit road.
Yeah, Haynes seems to be stretching it a bit too. Might have Stotts and Bennett being done. We only have 12 trucks still running, Dawson.
See if we can find out what might have happened to Matthew Stotts, if possible. See anything that was shown where Stotts had any issues. You see the three of them right here, Kruger, Durand, and Kerfan go by Brian Haynes. Going to try to look and see. Stotts, of course, out of the race now. Looking to see what might have happened. Matthew Stotts. There he is. We'll find out what happened to this number 17 truck. If we can. It's the big thing, if we can. As a matter of fact, we're going to just throw on our little replay graphic and see if we can't find out what happened.
Oh.
That might have something to do with it. I think we might have found part of it. It looks like contact with... Or no, loose in front of Brian Haynes. Hits the inside wall right there.
That killed it.
It's a pretty good hit. Not good enough to kill it, I don't think, but that might have just been what made Stotty Too Hotty say, you know what, I'm not having fun in Dover anymore. He pulled it to pit lane. That was on lap 147, about 16 laps ago. Looks like that was what ended his night. He called it there. So that is what's going to be the end of Stotty Too Hotty's night here. Currently 14th as it stands.
Moreno's only 4 seconds off of Arnold now.
Yeah, not a big gap compared to last time you mentioned it. Arnold not holding strong ahead of Moreno. Race is winding down. I don't think Haynes is gonna make it. You can see there 56 laps since he came down pit road. He's still got to go a ways in this race, about another 30 so laps. So it'll be in territories that we didn't see Arnold get to. And Arnold is closing up on Haynes right now. So these two are gonna be in full save mode while Moreno is gonna push. I think Haynes is going to ride it out and hope for a caution, and Arnold is just, he's made his bed. He's going to have to lie in it. We'll see how things pan out for that 22 truck.
That's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much his only hope.
See Moreno in the background.
There's only 7 trucks on the back right now, partially because of Haynes being out there. I think Corey Cook may still end up being a lap down because of how he spun on coming into pit road.
But you see these top two still hanging on as Ethan Fonseca Moreno closing the gap. He's not in fuel save mode like Arnold and Haynes are, but you know, not as big a gap they were able to have as last time. Arnold had about a lap and a half gap over Moreno that time, but it was only a 14-second gap, and Moreno was able to make it by Arnold. Now he has to get up there and get by the 86 of Brian Haynes.
Yeah, at this point, the other guys need a caution. Like, Moreno is just that much better than everybody else right now. Back to the point for Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
And he'll get back to the point with just 31 laps to go this next time by.
He's got an 11-second gap on Kruger and Durant. As you kind of alluded to earlier, Dawson, he built it. Riley Hurstman said, "Hold my Monster Energy. I'm going to do it better."
Yeah, I was thinking Fonseca Moreno said, "Hold my Fram," but there's not really a way to hold your Fram in that sense. But I think Brian Haynes is slowing up. He went to go to pit road. He missed pit road. He's going to have to go another lap. Then he's going to be slow on the track, have to get back up to speed. It looks like right now we've got 7 drivers that are going to be on the lead lap. It might be down to 5 by the time things are all said and done. Haynes slow on the track. He's going to have to make a second lap and then pull the pit raid. Not what he wanted to have happen there, missing pit lane. But a battle is happening here. This is for 8th right now between Corey Cook and David Duran. In case it happens, this is for the free pass as it stands right now. These two are battling for what would end up being the free pass.
I might get a run back on the outside here on exit. He's still staying real tight to the 61.
Cook gonna clear and take over that 7th spot. Ryan Haynes on pit road still, getting service, but right now the gap 4 seconds to second place, which is Josh Arnold, who is on a fuel-saving run. Michael Kruger, who was second on that pit cycle, is back 11 seconds to race leader Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Second place, Justin Duran. Third place, Alonso Chicano, all right there together.
Just by the interval and lap times, Moreno could very well end up lapping Alex Kerfan before this is all said and done.
16 seconds is the gap. I don't think it's going to be enough to lap him. It'll take Kerfan having a couple brushes of the wall again, but so far it doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. Have to see. Brian Haynes is still on pit road. Actually, I believe he has left the session. He is out of it. So Haynes is going to drop back right now to 11th. About a lap or two before Carpenter will pass him, and that'll drop Haynes back to 12th. Where he will settle in for the rest of this race. We're going to have 24 laps to go when we cross the stripe next time by. It's still a battle. Kruger going to have to fend off Duran and Chicano, who are second and third. As it's going to stand right now, I do believe it is going to be a must-win scenario for Brett Bennett, Tristan Maher, and Cameron Caldwell. A good run by Chicano is going to push him over that hump that Chicano needs to get over.
A little better off of 1 and 2 there versus Duran. Duran was a little sideways coming off of exit. Oh, he gets the wall a little bit.
Gets the wall. It's not going to matter.
Replay.
Not going to matter too much just yet. Duran's going to get a gap now. He's not going to have to worry out back. But as they run right now, here's where they shake out. Ethan Fonseca Moreno, obviously, with a win in this race, is going to keep his ticket locked up, obviously.
Bennett and Maher are must-win situations going into the cutoff.
We get an accurate read on the points again because I messed up a couple numbers. But that's okay. Mistakes are commonplace. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. So Moreno, as it stands right now, of course, locked in with the win. Justin Duran would be 33 points above the cut line. Michael Kruger up 24, and Alonso Chicano would be up 14. Tristan Maher on the outside looking in out 14, and then Cameron Colville and Brett Bennett back 35 and 36 points. Must-win situations as things stand right now, unofficially. We'll see when we get to the end of this race. That's how they're running right now. We'll see if anything changes, but the only thing that really could change right now, besides a caution changing everything, Justin Duran, Alonso Chicano, this battle for fourth, that could be the difference of a point.
Absolutely, 1 point could very easily, depending on how the next race plays out, could easily be the difference maker between being in or out. So we got to fight for every point you can get.
Yeah, but for Justin's case right now, I mean, he is in the best position to be in for any of these drivers.
Absolutely.
With a 33-point advantage. Of course, last week finishing second at Kentucky. A great run to stay in the hunt, finishing second. And right now sitting up primed for a fourth, if not third place run if Arnold does not make it tonight. I mean,
or if they catch him.
Yeah, or if they catch him, obviously. So Duran's in a really good spot, to push his ticket, because the field sizes we've had here closing out the season haven't been as big. So it's likely we could just see it be a case of Duran able to have 2 good runs and have a mulligan race next week to where he can go and get ready to fight for a championship. This would be his second time coming into the penultimate race with a chance still at the championship. Of course, last season, season 3, he had a great season last year, but just wasn't close enough to Parker and Kruger to battle for the championship. But of course, he won the season finishing finale last season at Kansas. And I do believe he also won another race earlier this season, that being our other big track race at Michigan. So keep your eyes on this 5 machine too when it comes down to it. Battling for the championship, he might be the dark horse pick, I think. He's that number 5 truck.
When you mention it too, unless you get 30 plus trucks next week, it's basically a lock.
Yeah, there's no worry right now for him. It's pretty much going to be a case of how many people show up. Oh, not a lot of people show up. Okay, you're good to go.
But yeah, he just needs to start. He just needs to turn on the gas, and he's good. 3 are going to be sweating. Are Bennett? We're sweating for certain. Are Bennett? Are Bennett, Maher, and Caldwell.
And I wouldn't even say Maher is really sweating too bad. I mean, it's not a case of he has to win. He still has a pathway to make his way in on points. I mean, 14 points is a bad gap to come into the last race with, but it's still surmountable. I mean, all it takes is one mistake from another driver, and he can slide his way in. But in the sense of the other guys we got, for somebody like, Brett Bennett, Cameron Caldwell, I mean, their hopes rely on them making it to victory lane. And for Brett especially, I mean, he has not been able to find victory lane yet. So that's going to really be a big case of can he make it stick, and can he, make his ticket, punch his ticket to Fontana. We'll have to
but of course,
see.
we've seen him pull off some pretty insurmountable odds in both cutoff races so far.
So far, yeah, we've seen him pull off insurmountable odds to keep his championship hopes alive, but it'll be a big one to have to overcome winning in Atlanta. And that's not playoff, that's not Super Speedway Atlanta. That is the old Atlanta. That is the regular old 1.5-mile track, not the one we see nowadays. That's the old Atlanta format that we see. So it'll be fun to watch and see how these drivers are able to handle it on that old Atlanta surface. But that, of course, is next week here on Saturday nights, JCTV. And then, of course...
now, but Kruger, Duran, and Chicano are actually closing up pretty quickly on Josh Arnold here in a bit.
Yeah, Arnold right there ahead on the back straightaway. As you see Kruger and Duran, Chicano a little bit further back of these two. Behind Matt Steiner, I believe, in the 38. There's he is having a great run, running 9th right now in this 38 truck. I mean, it hasn't taken a lot to keep it in that top 10, just keeping your nose clean and keep it rolling, but still a good run by Matt Steiner tonight. Been able to keep the wheels on that thing and keep her going straight ahead. And right now, sitting 9th, set for a good finish.
Absolutely, and in a presence you normally don't see in the top 10, Harold Tucker, despite all the challenges he's been through, just by virtue of elimination, he's going to hang on and probably grab a top 10 out of this as well. Doesn't seem like Duran's able to really close up much more on Kruger right now. But we'll see if that changes when they catch Arnold, because they're obviously moving a lot faster than he is.
And Arnold's still in hard save mode right now, just up ahead. He's got David Duran and Josh Coppernoll behind him. It is 8 laps to go this time for these drivers. 7 laps to go when our leader hits the line next time. There he is. Ethan Fonseca Moreno, of course, we mentioned, already punched his ticket into the next round, into the Championship 4 at Fontana. He has got the golden goose, and he looks like he's going to steal another one here tonight with this win at Dover. A dominant performance, I should say. I shouldn't say steal it. It's not really stealing it if he's going out and dominated.
Absolutely spanked the field. And you see Kerfan's just ahead of him. He could probably lap him. Looks like Duran. Nope, Duran's got back up to Kruger. They're still battling pretty hard here.
And still a hard-fought battle for third for the podium.
Basically, they've gapped Chicano at this point.
Yeah, they've put Chicano back in the rear view. Chicano's in the rearview mirror now. It's all about out front on the windshield for Durand.
I don't think Arnold is saving much more because the gap has kind of stabilized to from Josh Arnold to Michael Kruger. Gotta give a tip of the cap to Josh Arnold though for that strategy call, because he wasn't even in the top 10 before he decided to make that wacky strategy call. It's gonna be quite the, where even without getting the win, this has been a nice gamble for that 22.
Yeah, it's gonna work out in his favor so far. Still hanging on to second. He's got Kruger Durand coming quick. That'll be for second place and third place if they can get by him, but holding strong right now. I mean, he's got 4 laps to hold him off. He's got 2 trucks in between him. I mean, he might be able to hang on to this one.
I don't think they have enough time to catch him.
3 to go at the line for Moreno. And if he's able to, if this all stays the same and nothing happens, this will be Ethan Fonseca Moreno's 4th career win, 2 in a row. I mean, this will be big for this 43 team. A big momentum swing heading into this championship round.
That's a second now from Arnold to Kruger.
Pan back to watch this battle. You see David Duran and Josh Coppernoll trying to get by Arnold, who's on fumes about this point, just kind of stretching it as thin as he can. We're watching the 43 Ethan Fonseca Moreno as he makes it to the back straightaway. He is looking for the white flag. 1 more lap if he can get it as he rounds his way through 3 and 4. Next flag will end the race, and he is going to get the white flag. 1 more lap here in the Amsoil Dover Dash for Ethan Fonseca Moreno to pick up his 4th career win, 2nd in a row, and solidify his spot as the favorite possibly to win this championship. 2 wins back-to-back weeks. He's looking for it as he comes through 3 and 4 uncontested. We saw a 15-second win in the Xfinity Series race today. How about a 14-second win in the truck race? Out of turn 4, Ethan Fonseca Moreno takes the checkered flag for his 4th win of Season 3. Meanwhile, the battle's going to be for 3rd. David Duran was trying to block Kruger, I think, for Justin Duran. He ended up blocking his own brother. Coming through 3 and 4, they're going to be side by side for 3rd. Coming to the stripe, it's going to be, I believe, Kruger hangs on to the top 3 spot. Josh Arnold was able to hold off for 2nd. Justin Duran is 4th. Alonso Chicano 5th there at the line.
What a dominant performance for this 43 truck. This was a statement win. Basically telling the rest of the field he is the man to beat.
Picking up his 4th career win here tonight, as mentioned. You know, I mentioned it. We mentioned it all last season here on JCTV with this 43 truck. I mean, we've always said it just takes one. It just takes one. He needed to break out and just get 1 win, and once he got 1, they were going to all come after. You see, is he going to make some laps here with his teammates there for Piston Broke Racing? That is Michael Kruger and Josh Coppernoll. it only was going to take one, and he was going to break out and start knocking out some more wins. That is now 4th win of the season, 2 in a row, and likely going to be what propels him as the favorite to win this championship this season. As it stands right now, he had a really good run, a really good race. And now we just watch and wait and see when he comes around, when he'll come around and burn it down. Gotta get it fired back up, and there he goes, burning it down, celebrating a win here tonight.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Dawson. I believe outside of the stage caution, we went caution free.
Yeah, 1 caution in this race, and that was just for the stage. It's great to see these races play out. Moreno celebrating here. We'll take a look at your finishing results for tonight's Amsoil Dover Dash. As you can see, Moreno, Arnold, Kruger, Duran, Chicano, the top 5, and Alex Kerfan taking home 6. Corey Cook able to keep another top 10 going there with a 7th place run. David Duran brings it home 8th. Matt Steiner, how about a 9th place finish for him? And then Harold Tucker, 5 laps down in 10th. See Josh Coppernol, Brian Haynes, and then your DNFs of the race. Brian Haynes, of course, is 12th place finish, 29 laps down. Brett Bennett and Tristan Maher, your playoff drivers. Huge implications for those 2 drivers with those hits on the pit barrels. They're going to be in some pretty tough situations as next week rolls around with Atlanta looming ahead. So let's see if we can get a hold of our guys that finished on the podium here tonight. Let's first see if we can get a hold of our finisher in 3rd in this race. See if we can get a hold of Mr. Michael Kruger.
Hey, Michael Kruger, it's Ben Smith up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Michael, Mike, congratulations on the 3rd place there. Had a heck of a battle going on all day between you, Alonso, and Justin Duran as well. Take us through that.
Well, from the very beginning, I had to battle all the way from behind. Einstein over here decided to wet the bed in qualifying once again, and well, I did, starting 10th, and I thought I had a real shot at getting a great starting spot in the top 3, top 5, and just didn't happen. So I had to pretty much play offense in the stage, kind of get through the field and work through it without cooking my stuff. I kind of thought going into this race, like Justin was going to be one of the man to beat, and he was really fast, and Alonso also was great too on the long run as well. Just kind of really working around and kind of trying to best those 2. It really just came down to nailing pit in, pit out. It's really all it was. Just had to kind of time it correctly to get the jump on them while also being pressures on the tires, whether I had a 1 lap disadvantage to the 1 or 2 or whatever it was. I just had to really kind of be smart managing my stuff, and yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy at all besting those guys because I felt the pressure pretty much all race from those 2. Pretty much kind of following my tire tracks there. So it was just a bit of a bit gutsy duking out with those guys. It was fun and a little hard racing if you want to say, but with how the playoffs are right now, I mean, it's kind of what we had to do there. So I mean, it was tricky, but well, that's just how it wound up here tonight.
And Mikey, I don't have the points here in front of me, but I think after this race you should you should gain a nice little cushion with thanks to Maher Bennett running into some trouble, and then also on top of that, Cameron Caldwell not being here as well. With one race left to go before we get to the championship in Fontana, how confident are you feeling going into the next race?
I mean, I feel pretty solid heading into it. I mean, Atlanta 08. Had a league race there a couple weeks ago to kind of give an idea of what to expect there. But honestly, like it's gonna be pins and needles for that one. I don't feel safe at all, no matter what the points gap is, until I know at the end of the race that I'm in or not. Like, I mean, whatever the gap is, like, I mean,
24 points. I just got it.
24 points. Well, I mean, it's great to have a big cushion like 24 points, but honestly, Ben, like, I could kind of care less because, like, I don't feel safe one bit until I know I'm in. Just until I know. Like, I'm just honestly like, yeah, it's great to have that bit of a buffer, but it's a bit concerning considering, like, I just got to keep ahead of, I think Alonso's fourth. I don't know. Of Alonso in fourth in case like someone outside wins, and I mean, it's going to be a bit of a stress fest. I've never had this feeling before for a league race before, but it's going to be an anxiety battle for Atlanta trying to monitor the points situation. But we're just going to go out there in Atlanta and do the best we can. If whatever happens, whether I make it or not, it's just it is what it is. I mean, we've worked hard. I mean, I've worked hard all season for to get to the championship four, and we've just got one race to go. We just got to go out there and execute, and I need to actually get my stuff together in qualifying and put myself in a great spot come race time.
And before I let you go, you got any guys you want to thank out there?
Yes, I'd like to thank my mom and dad for watching this race. Just shouting them out. I feel like they're a little disappointed I didn't come away with the win tonight, but I feel like they're pretty happy about that. I came home with the top 3 and a good finish there. And I got to thank my team, Piston Brook Racing, Josh Coppernoll, boss man, and shout out to my team at Ethan Fonseca Moreno for winning tonight. He killed us all from the get-go once he got out front, so congrats to him, and just shout out to Cam and Alonso for what they do every week for this league to make it better for us, and what they go through to make this product fun and enjoyable on a weekly basis. And of course, last but not least, you guys for what you do to put on a good commentary for our events. I appreciate you guys for what you do.
And thank you, Mikey. Congratulations again on the 3rd place finishing. Good luck next week battling for a spot in the championship 4.
Thanks, Ben.
And with that, we'll see if we can get a hold of our 2nd place finisher here tonight. That would be Mr. Josh Arnold. Down here with Josh Arnold, of course, our 2nd place finisher. Josh, we kind of pointed it out as soon as we kind of picked up on it. An alternate strategy was able to work in your favor at the very end of that race. You were able to hang on and get 2nd out of it. At what point did you really think maybe I'm going to try that out and see if it works?
Well, we had 50 laps in the first stage. I checked my gas when I came, in. I had 23 or 24 laps left, so I knew it would be very close. So I don't know if you saw me. I gave up 5th or 6th spot there before the choose, and came down, got me some gas, restarted at the back, just chilled for a little bit. And plus, I didn't want to get in the playoff driver's way. Being up there, I'd already stole some stage points from them. So, but I went up and just kind of stuck on that strategy. I actually went like 5 or 6 laps further than I thought I was going to. So I think anybody could have done that, but I know the feeling of wanting just fresh tires every 50 laps. That does sound a little funner than what I did. And you said hang on there. Yes, I had to apologize to the 24. I know he wanted to get by, and he knew I was running in second. I don't usually get a chance to talk to you guys very much, so I really wanted to hold that spot, and I knew that if they were between me, then Kruger would have to, go through them. So that's why I tried to play a little defense, even though I usually don't do that there the last few laps, trying to get a chance to talk to you guys.
Yeah, and you were able to get it at the end, a second place run. This is your third time finishing runner up, still yet to win. But on the same token, I mean, coming into tonight, you had a big gap over Andrew Elias for best of the rest. He doesn't race. You finished second. I'd be willing to say you've all but locked it up. So, best of the rest. It's not the playoffs. It's not, winning a championship, but it's still at least something. So what's it like for you to know that you're going to come away with this season, at least knowing that you were able to compete and maybe kind of build on that into next season?
Yeah, I mean, hey, I was in the playoff running pretty much all year until the very last, 50 laps of the regular season. So, but couldn't be more happier than the other people who made it. Just that best of the rest. Yes, if you don't make it, how everybody even on Sunday says they want to be, the next best person in there because it's more money. I don't know if it does anything in this side, but yeah, just being able to do that and just being one of those who misses the playoff but still shows back up. I know I missed Bristol because I was out of town for a driver's wedding, but shout out Zach Meredith for getting married. But just showing back up, treating the playoff drivers right, giving them room, and then if I have a little fresher tires at the end, maybe race them a little bit. But other than that, I'm just happy to be here and racing in some clean races here ever since a few people got removed.
Yeah, but at the end of it all, able to get those clean laps, a great run all day today, and a second place effort. Shout out to teammates, sponsors. What got that 22 team out to this podium finish?
Well, I like the Joey Logano Foundation. Obviously, that's been on the truck and most of my cars on all the other leagues. I just, support a foundation out there. But then again, all the guys, the broadcast, Cam and the admin team over here, they get it done. And then, honestly, it does feel a little good tonight was my first night on my new Fanatec wheel. So really about to dig into some more settings and trying to, pinpoint that, because I swear at the beginning of practice, I could not feel the Joker, any force feedback in the middle of the corner. So that's what I did during practice, was just, try to work on some settings. Obviously I got a little bit further to go. But overall, sixth in the stage, a second finish. I mean, I don't usually do that, so it feels good. But thanks to the guys out watching over in the family crew, and then thanks to you guys for putting this on, because it takes a lot of your time.
Absolutely. That is our second place finisher here tonight, Josh Arnold. Of course, as mentioned as well, likely going to be your winner of the best of the rest. So congrats on that as well, Josh.
Thank you, Dawson. Thanks, Ben.
And with that, we'll send it down to Ben, who I believe has found his way to victory lane to talk to our race winner here tonight, Mr. Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
Absolutely. Let me get Ethan down here. Hey, Ethan, it's Ben Smith up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Ethan, congratulations on a dominant win. You looked at Riley Hurst winning the Xfinity race in dominant fashion and said, hold my beer. What a performance.
Yeah, I kicked everybody's butt today. I just admit it, but
I love the confidence.
yeah. No, this is I had, what? All that pressure from last week just kind of just been lifted off my shoulders, so I just kind of went in here to just, run my own race and not worry about anything really. But yeah, had this thing under control. Not really much else I can say other than that.
Ethan, you basically won this race by half a lap over Josh and Mikey. To go two in a row in this round and basically kind of keep everybody squirming a little bit points wise going into the cutoff race. How big of a statement is this from you to the rest of the field to say that you're the guy to beat?
I do agree. It's a pretty big statement, but at the same time, it's a whole different circuit compared to like Auto Club, which will be our championship race. I'm focused on the championship race, and it's going to be a whole different ball game. It's not going to be anything like today. Um, if anything, in my opinion, I think it's going to be like a draft race. So it's going to be difficult, much like the 1.5s have been this year. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, I just probably going to be putting a lot of time into that when that week comes. And yeah, that's just my main focus is because it's going to be very difficult for sure. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it because I'm going to need some help for sure from my teammates because man, uh, especially in the 1.5, sometimes you always have the radius guys always up front all the time, so they usually help each other out. So yeah, um, all my focus is on that right now.
And Ethan, with even though that's your focus, we got one more race coming up at Atlanta, which is an emphasis on 2008 Atlanta. So old school intermediate style Atlanta. Um, do you feel like there's any sort of draft or possible draft there or something that can information wise it'll be able to help you in terms of preparing for Fontana?
You know, from what I've heard is I've never driven there before, but from what I've heard is that it's very hard on tires. So uh, kind of like this track where you gotta save your right front. But you know, I think it'll be one of those races where you gotta take care of your tires as well. Not really as much as like Vegas or those tracks basically like Kansas, where or 1.5s where you just gotta like get assists from people behind you in draft and all that stuff. I think it'll be um much like today, kind of, or
Mhm.
Kentucky, I should say. Yeah.
And before we let you go, Ethan, do you got any folks you want to thank out there?
I thank my teammates. Uh, they all helped today, and I appreciate everybody for keeping it clean today because if I had that caution come out, I don't know what would have happened. So yeah, thank everybody for that.
Awesome, Ethan. Congratulations on 2 wins in a row, and good luck next week at Atlanta.
Thank you. Also, shout out to the boss man.
And back to you, Dawson.
Yep, so that is going to wrap up racing from tonight. You see Moreno's truck still parked on start-finish line, still on the front straightaway. He might burn it down a little more. We'll see, but he's still out
He
on
can sit there
track.
as long as he wants, Dawson, considering the win he just got today.
Yeah, dominant performance all race long. He's going to take it over. Now, I want to bring us back as well. So the last lap, we panned back and we saw that battle happening for the what would be second place. We're going to go back and look really quick and see what happened. Just to see what happened between Durand and Kruger. I believe this is coming to the white flag.
Yeah, the battle for third.
2 to go, actually. Yeah, the battle for third, excuse me, between Michael Kruger and Justin Durand. And this is a hard-fought battle, of course, battling for every position, battling for every point they can get. I believe I might have gone too far back. We'll see how far back we went. I might have gone about 2 to go, if anything. So we'll kind of keep our eyes on the tracks. There you see battling up ahead. Yeah, we went a little too far back. That's okay. We'll just do our fancy little thing like I should do every time we go to look at a replay if I don't know where it's at, and just go to the JCTV replay graphic. Because why not? So this is at 2 laps to go. Cut it back live here. This is the battle for second. There you see Josh Coppernoll, David Durand, and there is second place Josh Arnold. This is Michael Kruger and Justin Durand trying to catch up to the 22 and also trying to make the move to try and go for second. And then the battle between themselves. We'll see here Kruger getting to the inside. David blinks out, whatever, no big deal. This should be coming to the white flag this time by. Now here is where a little bit of controversy comes up. We've seen some reports, some unhappy drivers, not Michael Kruger, but some other drivers a little unhappy. We'll see what happens in this scenario here. Kruger trying to get to the inside of David. David just trying to hold off the 14. couldn't quite do it. You see here the flag is sitting outside, can't quite get the run, and takes the checkered flag. So Kruger hangs on for that second spot, but the point of contention, obviously, back straightaway. We'll see it again here for another angle.
To say, like, that block that David Duran threw basically prevented both his brother and Mikey from having any shot to get to Josh.
Now you see right there, if you look right there on the apron, there is a slower shot. That, I believe, is the 64 of Harold Tucker. We're going to go on board with Michael Kruger here in this one. He's trying to set up a pass on both David Duran and trying to set up to go on Josh Arnold right here, who gets the inside. You'll see David kind of cuts down and just...
Oh, that's tight.
Close, close, close.
David, I don't think David was trying to intentionally push him into Tucker. I think he was just trying to see if he could spook him into backing off the throttle enough, thinking he might hit Tucker.
Watching on board there from the 24. Not seeing anything out of the ordinary. I mean, I don't see anything that would say...
I don't think he was intentionally trying to... Yeah, I don't think he was trying to push him into Tucker.
Take a look from the eye in the sky here and just kind of see what might have happened. If anything, obviously Kruger trying to cross him over, trying to get by this 24 to set up a pass for the 22. A little bit of contact. Then right here,
I don't think he appreciated that.
Yeah, I don't think that's trying to block. I'm not too sure. All I can see there is two guys that are fighting for track position.
Yeah,
more importantly,
it's hard to
Kruger's trying to
tell.
fight to get up and battle with Arnold, and Durand is trying to get up there and battle for that third place spot with Michael Kruger.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dawson. It's hard to tell because it's like I don't think he was intentionally trying to push him into Tucker as something like sort of like retaliatory action because Kruger got his quarter panel. It could also be because he got out of shape from that. That could have been him on the back end just still trying to gather the truck back up too.
Yep, it'll all pan out. The rest of the season, we got 2 races left, 2 more chances at immortality for drivers to pick up a win, and more importantly, to try to pick up a championship. Moreno goes back-to-back here tonight. He wins in the Amsoil Dover Dash, so we still got 3 spots up for grabs in the championship hunt. Of course, now 2 are going to be guaranteed to be point spots. 1 will be possible via a win if someone can steal a win. That's out in the back half. We mentioned unofficially your point standings are as follows. Ethan Von Moreno, of course, has locked himself in with back-to-back wins. Justin Duran sits 33 points above the cut line in second. Michael Kruger, 24 points to the good. And then Alonso Chicano holds the final spot. He is up 14 points. Those 3 drivers on the outside looking in are Tristan Maher, who is down those 14 points, but then what are essentially must-win situations. Cameron Caldwell not able to race tonight. He puts himself 35 points back to the cut line. And Brett Bennett, 36 points out, is going to need a miracle. We'll have to see. That all comes down to it next week at Atlanta. The penultimate race. 4 drivers will continue their quest for a championship. 3 drivers will have to hang their heads in shame and have to be eliminated. We'll have to see who is able to punch their ticket. That, of course, next week. Next Saturday night, 7:45 Eastern here on JCTV. We've got some other racing, of course, as always. It's not just one league we run here. We run a plethora of leagues here. This upcoming Tuesday night, the Slide Job Racing League is going to also be heading to Atlanta for a race at Atlanta. It's always nice when these tracks kind of play off each other, the schedules play together and have the same race. But Atlanta, 133 laps, that is this Tuesday night here on JCTV for the Slide Job Racing League. Race 3 of 4 of the round of 10 in the playoffs. We'll see what drivers can try to push themselves back into that top 4 contention and who might end up ending their championship hopes early. This Thursday night, the SAC Coast to Coast Cup Series. They will be heading to the Chicago Street Course for a race, that of course being this Thursday, October 19th. Don't miss that one. And on top of all that, I think that's about all the racing we got outside of it. So get ready. We got a week of racing up ahead of you here on JCTV. But what a dominant run tonight by Ethan Von Moreno. Dominates the race, takes the checkered flag, and goes back-to-back to really put emphasis on himself being a championship favorite. We'll see you next time on JCTV. Signing off, this is for Ben Smith, Dawson Allen, signing off, saying so long have a great rest of your night.